Okay, hello and welcome. I'm continuing the briefing now into a fully extended reading and analysis, and this will be my commentary on the divine angelic messages for the Ascending Soul Group, and this is for the dates of February 9th through 2018. Again, my name is Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today, bringing you the angel messages for Vertex of Abundance, Intergalactic Ethereal Temple, and Monastery. Okay, so here at the crown we have the Fool in reverse, and that's supported by the Queen of Pentacles, and that tells me that this is a whole cycle of opportunity that seems a little bit confusing. Now, this is a person who really has some rather low vibrational or mundane concepts and ideas about how to experience life. Maybe they operate from a place of fear. Now, that's somewhat okay, that's being expedited because the truth comes out here. We have the sun in the upright. But again, this is a cycle that the person needs to contribute to, needs to complete. Because in the center, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and it's turning. So this is a cycle that, okay, so since it wants to go upright and it's standing in opposition, what does that mean? It means when the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse, you have the opportunity to complete that cycle at a previous time, and the cycles come back around again to complete. And normally in reverse, it means, okay, homie, I ain't gonna give you the answer this time. You must try. You must put in some effort if you want to make it up out of here. Okay, so with that Fool in reverse on the crown, it's really saying, okay, listen, this can come together, but there's things you don't know, and you need to make some discoveries about yourself with that High Priestess in reverse, and that's supported by the Wheel of Fortune. So what did you not get last time? What did you not understand last time? What was the last time? Let's look into timing. December, November 21st between December 21st. November 22nd till December 21st, probably between between November 22nd and December 2nd. That is if I were to pinpoint it exactly. Now, it could have been in 2017 or 2016 too. Okay? And it also could involve a Sagittarius sun sign. Okay. I'm not getting anything else. They could have their Mercury and their Venus in Sagittarius as well. But it would be in the first, 5th, or 9th house in that case, to be more specific. So somebody has some stinking thinking. It's probably according to their social programming, their mental conditioning, probably through being raised. It could be a fear of a substance. Okay, so they might not know how to have fun because of things that happened in the past. In childhood, they probably had an absent father or a father who drank a lot. Okay. But the concept and idea here for the collective watching is that you can't be afraid to live your life. Even if you make mistakes as you live your life, that's what we're going to need to do. We need to go through the process and experience so that we have the good, the bad, and the ugly, so we can accumulate, we can collectively arrive at a conclusion according to that. I mean, you only see the world as you is, not the world as it is. And if you don't experience more and deepen the awareness, you're going to have a limited perspective of the world. Okay? Because this is an opportunity that you can complete very well. You will hold on to what virtues you need to hold on to if you're worried about losing it. You know, maybe you don't want to be casual in a relationship. Maybe you need a full embodied commitment before you even let the person see your pinky toe. I'm dramatizing an idea here, but it's coming through, so I'm going to say it. Whatever we're fearful of has completely come through. And over the last 3 weeks, we've been arriving at those things we used to be deeply fearful of. This is a completion cycle as well. I do want to say that if I hadn't said it before. This is a This is a culmination. The truth has come out. Something has happened rather well. We did a good job at it, even if there were things inside of ourselves that we don't know. And part of this may be a fear because there's something alive in us that we're continuing to not be able to get in touch with. And that's what's blocking us here. The universe has given us the opportunity to make some changes, and the changes are to expedite the shadow nature. Sometimes to expedite the shadow nature, you need to experience for a moment. You're gonna need to pig out on ice cream once or twice in your life to know what a healthy amount of ice cream it is to eat. Example. All right, you're gonna need to get brain freeze twice or thrice to know how to prevent it in the future. You're gonna need to have a bad love experience once, twice, or thrice in order to know what good love is. If you've never experienced sorrow and pain, you don't know what true joy and happiness is, truly, really, genuinely. And if you think you do, you're getting it from a book, you're getting it from somewhere else, you're getting it from some dogma, from some stinking thinking, or some type of programming and conditioning. Ain't real true living. Divinity, creator, a divine message would be something that you can feel inside. Truth should have an internal recognition, even if it's being transmitted from external sources. The worst is happening. You're probably the one making cutbacks here, and so it may feel like you're exhausted or you're tired, you can't take no more, but the fact that you're even willing to have the process, the fact that you're even willing to say, okay, this has been difficult, I might want to no longer contribute to this, means that the cycle is wrapping itself up. It will be wrapped up completely in the next 14 days, I'm hearing. For some of you, in the next 17 days. So let's talk about this just for a minute. In 3 weeks completely, you'll be on a different phase altogether. The phase is about to wrap up. That's another message you get from the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse twice here. And you have the Temperance card upright, thank goodness. So you have the wherewithal, we have the wherewithal to really truly complete this process. You know, where we are right now is we are removing all of the shadow nature alive in us. And it's the stinking thinking that disables our ability to manifest, to properly manifest what it is that we want to hold on to. So the shadow and the expediation of said shadow is what illuminates the mental processes, the blueprints, the belief systems that we need to augment, change, remove, let go, and adapt, incorporate, acknowledge in order to remain in a foundation that we feel comfortable in, where we could be in service to the great, in service to the divine, and be devoid of the shadow that will tear us apart, that will take us down, that will disconnect us from our divinity, separate us, shroud us in ignorance. Whatever has been done happened, and the worst is over. The only problem now is that we are putting ourselves in anguish. We are torturing ourselves, in a sense, that way. So let me repeat some things in terms of timing. This could be something that we've been dealing with for a year. It could be since December of 2016 for some of us. Now, some of these are going to have to deal with Sagittarians, and those Sagittarians will be, especially Sagittarius Capricorn energy, but the dates I'm getting is November 22nd through December 2nd. So that's the first 10 degrees of Sagittarius, if that's their sun sign. Sagittarius Mercury as well. Also Sagittarius Venus. So the way they love is about needing their freedom. And a lot of us feel we need to hold on to people. And we're feeling like we're not on the same page with them, so they're going to be leaving us because they're growing. They're experiencing life. They're taking the part alive in them that is divine, and they're using their shadow to expedite their ignorance, learn what's alive in them in terms of the ignorance that's preventing them from having a bigger, brighter, better life. And yeah, they're being overly cautious in their process, and they are being a little hedonistic because they need to go to the dark side every once and again. Like I said, you need to overeat ice cream twice or thrice to know what a brain freeze feels like. You need to be broken up with and lose a job twice or thrice to know what you really want out of life. You need to get a bunk offer. You need to have someone disrespect you once or twice to know what it is to be respected. That needs to happen. So another thing that I'm getting is over the last 3 weeks, there was something that we were ultimately fearful of for a long time that finally made sense to us. So finally we saw the truth. I'm hearing that song, Ace of Base. I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. So I'm hearing that. And it opened up my eyes, I saw the sign. Okay. Life is demanding, people are understanding. I think I messed up the lyrics. Okay, that song's coming through big time. We have the sun and the moon, the high priestess and the temperance card, the devil and the empress, the sun card, the fool card and the tower, and then the wheel of fortune. Tommy's telling me we've been expediting the shadow for the last 3 weeks. Over the last month, especially within the last 2 weeks, there was a big battle, a big conversation that broke us down. I feel like the bottom fell out from underneath us, but over the next 3 weeks, we'll be discovering that that was to break us out of something so we can rebuild. What we need to rebuild is our mental faculties, our belief system. Okay, and what'll come through is we'll understand what we can give birth to and what we can't collaborate with, what we shouldn't be receptive to tolerating in our lives. And it's beliefs about divinity, spirituality, the universe, our vision, our drives, our passions, our desires, how we want to grow our lives and go out and experience. Okay. So I want to see why this Empress is in reverse. I saw the sign, I saw the sign. And it opened up my eyes, I saw the sign. So we're going to feel stuck like we're not able to drive life forward because we used to have collaboration from people. Okay, we used to have people who it seemed like they had our best interests in mind, or they worked with us instead of worked against us, and like they honored us or they appreciated who we were and what we did for them. And it always felt like they were there, they had emotionally committed to us, and then they needed to mature. And so we're feeling like we're no longer welcome, we're persona non grata, or something doesn't work for us, or something's not available to us anymore. And all it's saying is emotionally mature. You've got to get to a higher ground in order to better understand that from a spiritual perspective, or the gate's not going to open. Okay, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Excuse me. Ace of Base is still coming through. And then I opened up my eyes, I saw the sign. So yeah, the breakdowns, the upheavals, the dissolutions, the unraveling, that was a wake-up call. Okay, we're gonna read this tower real quick. I saw the sign. So we should have discernment now, and we should know what we're no longer willing to deal with. So that big, whew, it's over. Even if it was a difficult ending, we will notice that the bonds that we had were according to our belief system. We felt what we felt because of what we thought. And once we have different thoughts, we'll have different feelings. We're feeling what we're feeling because of what we're deciding to think. And so now we don't know what we're passionate about. We might not be as excited as we used to be, and we might no longer be willing to go and fight for something. And that's the discernment that's necessary, because frankly, you can't fight for something that ain't willing to fight for you back. And so don't emotionally commit, period, point blank. And frankly, yeah, we can't be doing that because we need to make practical movements forward, and we can't make sweeping emotional gestures. Yep. So that was an emotional foundation that came down. I'm feeling like a breakup with a friend, a breakup with a lover, a breakup with somebody that you've known from a previous lifetime, and it was a catalytic experience. And both parties had gone as far in that situation as necessary. And I know we're talking about angel messages, so divine messages here is to use your shadow to break out and break free. We're going to be reading on the devil now. And the devil is saying that they're in the soul group. So back in the heavens or back in the, when you're out of the body, y'all are perfect. Y'all are completely 100% in love with each other, whether it's a friend or an actual romantic interest. But right now, y'all, one person's going to be giving more than the other person. And it's because there's no more fight left, and you don't need to be defensive. And if one person isn't willing to face the reality, then you're always going to be devoid of truth. But the boundaries are what drove this situation forward. So, well, that's just the reality there. The boundaries say that y'all can't be together anymore in the physical because you have a very firm bond in the spiritual. So let's see why this Fool is in reverse. I was doing math. The Fool's in reverse because you probably want to keep fighting. You probably want to keep trying to stay in that area, person, place, or thing, to stay emotionally committed to something. And no more fighting for this. You're done. Your defenses are where they need to be. Y'all have a very firm union in the spiritual, so always feel affectionate towards them. But if y'all can't grow together, you're growing apart, and that's just the way it is, period, point blank. Let's read this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and then I'm done. Well, there's that. That was a mic drop. So the other party might no longer be receptive emotionally, or you may not need to go on this journey because there's a lot going on. The other person's overwhelmed. And frankly, the other person, place, or thing is overwhelmed. And frankly, you shouldn't be, only be receptive to people who are receptive to you. Okay? So only be receptive to things that are receptive to you. Okay? Ultimately, I want to say that a cycle is completing. And you need to let it be over when it's over. Or you're going to block your own growth. And that's what this devil is. The devil is when you're stuck in something, you want to keep giving to it. One person has left the situation, and you do feel stripped. You do feel like you've been left behind some way, shape, or form or another. But the reality is the universe gave you a way out, a get out of jail card, or the other person took their get out of jail card, and you need to let them be. And when I say other person, it could be other person, place, or thing. I experienced that. I've been breaking up with people a lot. Not really lovers, but anybody who I feel is, if I don't feel we're growing together and I feel we're growing apart, I let it be known. And everybody wants a gay best friend. I hate to say it. I just can't be that for everybody. Either I'm your priestess or your friend. I can't be both. You know what I mean? And if I don't feel like we're spiritual peers, I can't be friends with you. And that's hard for me because I love to be loved. I'm a Cancer. I need lots of people in my life, and I emotionally connect to most people, even if it doesn't seem like it. So I had a hard lesson myself. And I'm still reeling back from the last couple of weeks because left and right and center people have been dropping like flies. Okay, there's no other messages. So that's been the angel messages for the week of the 9th through the 15th, 2017, February. Again, my name is Priestess Gorgeous. It was an honor and a delight to be your oracle today. Thank you for allowing me the privilege and the pleasure to serve you. Please take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.